game director to Ghost of Sparta. So in many ways, it's all about Kratos and God of War, but it's also about your title. Pressure. How does that feel?
Well, I mean, there's definitely a good deal of pressure to make a good God of War game. It's not an easy game to make, and there's a lot of people out there who have high expectations and high hopes for what a game like this could be. So I think it's healthy pressure, though. You know, we take that in stride. We're big fans of God of War ourselves, so you know, it's on us to make a game that we're also really proud of. So you know, hopefully everybody's going to be surprised and happy with the result of Ghost of Sparta.
What's it like working on a game that already has an ending? We all know where God of War goes.
There's a bunch of movies that were done that way too,
Yeah,
right?
do you want to talk Star Wars? We'll talk Star Wars.
Let's talk Star Wars. We know what happens in the end. We just don't know how it happens. And that was a big thing for us, especially at Ready at Dawn, especially in the 2 games we made. We saw Kratos as the destroyer of worlds, kind of in the trilogy that Santa Monica was doing. We actually went behind and tried to think of Kratos' motivation to do what he did. So we went way more personal with him, and I think Ghost of Sparta is going to show that a lot.
Dude, so how does it feel? You're responsible for all this. Not exactly, you didn't build it yourself, but God of War, you were the very beginning. How does that feel to stand on this stage and know, like, the boys are back there, these guys worked under you, you inspired them, and they're working on their own games, and now we're here. How does that feel?
It ceases being yours, or it has ceased being mine quite a long time ago. I feel very distant from it and detached from it. Not like in a depressed, sad way, but just kind of like, it's like that was a very specific game, and it was a very specific time in my life, and if I were to ever come back and make another God of War, that would be a very specific time as well.
How do you feel like about that? Like different directors, different games?
I do like it. I think it helps with the story as well. You can kind of go in different places, each person giving their own perspective, so the game doesn't become stale.
I mean, that's the job of any game director, is to kind of like very early on be able to play the game from start to finish in your head.
We would never have put anyone in a position to direct a God of War game who didn't not only get what it was, but also have something that they wanted to bring. So Corey was a great example in that all through God of War 1, Corey and I talked about our love for storytelling through gameplay. And it's like, we don't like cutscenes, we want the narrative and the interactive to be the exact same thing.
That's happening.
Holy
That's happening. That just happened.
Awesome.
But let's talk about Stig of War. Let's talk about your God of War. Like, what was your vision? You already said to end it big, you needed to go nuclear. Like,
needed to start big, and I felt like we needed to have really big moments in the game, but I wanted the story to be a little bit more personal. I wanted areas where we could get closer to Kratos. Starting big was good, but I didn't think we needed to end really big. I wanted to end on a note that was, I completed this journey, and I was satisfied with it.
God of War 3 is the first God of War game I played that it was like as a fan. For all the newness they brought and all the amazing spectacle and graphics, there was still that core formula that I was very key in working with the team and creating back on the first one.
So it's all about the PSP now. It's Ghost of Sparta. What's your take on having the cinematic experience portable?
I personally think, and I may be alone on this one, I think this is actually the best one in the whole series. Everything we wanted to do in 2, we actually ended up doing in this one. So a lot of the storytelling elements, getting them in gameplay, it's huge.
Clearly one of the things we wanted to do is we wanted to go back to basics, make sure that we told a good story. I mean, it's an important thing of God of War series is to make sure that you're adding something to the story. Kratos is such a cool character, and he's got a lot of backstory, a lot of stuff that torments him and drives him on this quest for vengeance that we see finally fulfilled in God of War 3. So, I mean, we want to make sure that we developed a game that had something to bring to the table that would actually enhance his character and propel him to the finale that people know and love now. I look back at, the game as we play through it today and yesterday and last night, this morning. I honestly feel surprised that we pulled off what we pulled off, and that makes me really, really happy. And I can't thank enough the guys at the team back at Ready at Dawn and everybody at Santa Monica who helped us on this game.